whether they're ripping off Pokepia for their Pal Farm knockoff or producing their own CCG, everything Palworld does, is a desperate attempt to try and get some attention by brazenly ripping off what Nintendo does and having their like audience of soy jacking YouTubers try and come out and say that like what they're doing is bigger and better. But now it seems like they've bitten off more they can chew. Now they have formally announced a Palworld CCG that nobody is talking about, nobody's excited for, nobody will support in a desperate attempt to try and capitalize off the Pokemon card hype. Now, if you know anything about Pokemon cards, you know that this is kind of a lockdown industry. You know that, like, Pokemon cards are huge. You know that, like, people are really like them. Like, Pokemon cards are in, like, a high point of relevancy right now. While, like, games and, like, the anime aren't, like, nearly as, like, well-regarded. Like, Pokemon cards are really, really popular. And Palworld is going to try and compete with not only that, but, like, every single other TCG out there, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, Digimon, like the One Piece TCG, the Dragon Ball one. Like, does anybody really think that Palworld is going to be competitive with this? Like, no. Like, honestly, like, the CCG seems like it's shaping up to be a disaster that's only being talked about in a desperate attempt to try and, like, get a rise out of Nintendo fans. Because you can kind of see this from Bucky. You can kind of see this from these dipshits, is that, like, oh, man, Pokemon fans are seething. And, like, in actuality, like, nobody cares that much. In actuality, like, nobody's really talking about the CCG. Nobody's really all that upset. Like, nobody really cares about Palworld at all. What's happening is that, like, the Palworld developers and their shills are desperately trying to get a rise out of the Pokemon audience to try to get their game talked about and to try and, like, keep it relevant. Like, instead of, like, actually finishing their game and making it good or, like, innovating, like, they keep announcing all these projects that don't really seem to surface, They keep announcing, like, spin-offs and now the CCG and, like, all this stuff. Like, Palworld is just the one thing that they think they can, like, ride into relevancy. And the reality is, it's just kind of imploded upon itself. Not only just because of the lawsuit, which I think has nothing to do with it. Like, the problem is, nobody can look at Palworld and see it as anything other than, like, a cheap knockoff of Pokemon. And that becomes more and more obvious, like, with every move that they make.